Chapter 10, Minterview. You dodge the tentacle alarm just in time, leaping back into the nearest roof and catching a glimpse of your attackers. 4 robotic creatures that remind you of automatic pool sweepers. They have sleek, globular cores that host a swinging tentacle, which is armed with a blade tip and energy cannons. After you evade the pool killers, they zero in on Black Magic. You know he is still weak from the thought swap, so what is your plan of attack? Show my stats. Ooh, although, option 3, take the telelock from Black Magic and make a run for it. That sounds really, really cool, but, like everything, horribly unlikely to actually go as promised. Let's work with Black Magic. Oh, I need to... I'll generate energy shields. You take them out, you shout, zooming into Black Magic's side. As your stanky bean energy encases you both, Black Magic shouts, "Refi Dixplo!" Immediately one of the pool killers erupts in a ball of flame. "You take the offensive," Black Magic says, dropping his arms. "I'm running out of power." Not missing a beat, you unleash a focused burst at the 2 nearest pool killers, but without warning, your power surges wildly, doubling the radius of the blast. It still incinerates 2 of the pool killers on contact, but it was way overkill. What the slugger? That's the second time your powers have surged unexpectedly like that. Looking down at your smoking forearms, you wonder why this keeps... "Detect, bro!" you hear Black Magic shout behind you. Another wave of stanky bean flashes, though this time it's Black Magic's energy. It protects you as the remaining pool killer tries to hack at your face with its knife tentacle. Pool killer. A killer of pools. "You want to pull it together, taser face?" Black Magic shouts. "I know you have a terrible power combo, but I was hoping you could actually use them." Do I? "Drop the shield," you say, reaching into your utility belt and pulling out a bunch of metal marbles. You charge them with energy, not wanting to chance another surge like the last one. Once the shield drops, you hurtle the marbles at the last pool killer. Mini energy explosions riddle the robot's core, sending it smoking down onto the rooftop. Wasn't it already on the... Was it flying? "What are those things?" you ask, not wanting to discuss your power flare. "I have no idea, but I'd bet they're a present from Madame Weiss," Black Magic says. "Whatever they are, we don't have time for this. I have just enough spell power left to get us back to the Millennial Group HQ. I can recharge and do the ritual on the telelock there. You coming?" I don't think he'll like this option. It'll just be... The thing is, I don't think he'll like it, but I also don't know that the writing is all-encompassing enough to really have this make any effect whatsoever. I mean, all 3 of these options are the same. In effect, I expect. I don't have a window into the back end of this game, but this seems like a non-option. From roleplaying perspective, we'll go with I guess. I'm trying not to act too shady. "Then stand close to me," Black Magic says, and you have no trouble doing so. You're about to put your arm on his arm when he says, "Portrans quarter shed." Quarter's head? Oh, the quarter shed. Suddenly, you feel as if someone has thrown you into the middle of a hurricane. Wind rips at your body, and you open your mouth to scream, but before you know it, you find yourself in the foyer of the MGHQ, and it's completely surreal. Located on MC's western shore, the MGHQ is a sleek tower shaped like a massive bullet, or phallic object. Currently, you stand in a dazzlingly white foyer overlooking the ocean. The walls are lined with wax-tech statues of every Millennial Group member, dating all the way back to the original roster, yesterday. What you wouldn't give to have a statue like that someday. "Come with me if you want to live," Black Magic says, walking toward a bank of elevators. You snap out of it and follow, your eye catching a holographic map of the headquarters. You look over the map, settling on... Mission Control, Training Levels, Governmental Liaison Offices, Marketing and PR, Transportation, Advanced Weapons, Tech Support, Research and Development, Detainment, Hospital, Recreational, 5-Star Dining, and the Millennial Hero Museum. Don't really know what I'm choosing here, or I don't know what effect my choice here will have. Perhaps a visit? I don't know. Let's choose PR. Because I don't like PR, but if I can cheese my way through some PR, that'll be just peachy. You start to think about how much fun it would be to explore there, but then your eyes settle at the top of the hologram, which shows the residential levels. Right, so my choice didn't matter. Each group member gets their own first-class luxury floor with a 360-degree view of the Pacific Ocean and downtown MC, or so you've heard. Of course, the top 3 penthouse levels belong to the Rebellion. Rebel scum. Greetings, Black Magic, a soothing automated voice says. How may I help you? Hey, Prodigy, Black Magic says. Taserface here is my guest, and we need to get into the mission control hub. Can you request that the group members meet us there along with Officer Spillane? I've got to lead on the Splice Circle case. I've got a lead. Processing request now, says the automated voice. Well done, Black Magic, by the way. Thanks, Prodigy, Black Magic says as the doors swing open to reveal a glass elevator overlooking Millennial City. He steps inside and motions for you to follow. That's Processor. She's the building's operating system. She also happens to be the group's oldest member, an artificial intelligence construct that was the group's first computer system back in the 21st century, but has since evolved into the most advanced sentient AI on the planet. Oh, that's her. That's not her, that's me. You finish? Never one to be outdone on your heroic history. Plus, me Chip Algernon has always had quite the me crush on Processor. Yes, some people think that Japanese Wire Maiden is the most advanced, but Prodigy is actually scheduled for a systems upgrade that's supposed to kick her ass, Black Magic says. And you should see her mainframe body, since she decided to gender identify. She's got a legendary rack. Ha! You start to chuckle, but it catches in your throat as the glass elevator flies away from the wall and shoots diagonally downward. You feel your stomach lurch as the elevator enters a complex network of twisting tubes. You gonna be okay there, champ? Black Magic says, smiling. Before you can even gain your bearings, the elevator doors swing open and Black Magic strides forward. He makes a few quick turns down slick metal corridors and finally enters a large room. You follow and try to catch your breath, but lose it entirely as you walk inside. For the Millennial Group is assembled before you. You can't help but stare, each member more impressive than the last. Oh, what a terrible innuendo. Who are you most excited to see? Fistful. Ugh. Who sits in a custom chair since he takes up the space of 3 normal people. Monk, a spiritual guru turned hero. The Diva, the wickedly powerful team matriarch perched in the ornate throne chair. Processor, whose legendary rack glows white beneath her glass skin. Officer Spillane, the group's police liaison, who hasn't noticed you since her eyes remain glued to her me-chip. None of them. I only care about the Rebellion. I am most excited to see... I don't really know much. Monk sounds kinda cool but boring. Let's stick with Fistful. Black Magic walks inside and takes his seat next to the Diva. And who is this? The Diva says in a thick South African accent. I can't do that. Looking you over from head to toe, you swear you can feel your skin start to prickle under her gaze. Who's this? There'll be plenty of time for introductions in the official debrief, someone says as they enter, nearly knocking you over. You're about to say something until you realize the voice belongs to... Rebellion. The sight of your idol, decked out in his simple blue and gold fatigues, nearly makes you faint. He has quite the intimidating presence, which is helped considerably by his 7-foot height. Rebellion's eyes glow a dim orange, pulsating with power. I'm glad he doesn't have stanky bean eyes. As you gaze in awe at Rebellion, you remember that he is your favorite hero because... Also, notice how that option didn't mean anything about who I was excited to see? Let's see, he overcame adversity to become MC's most famous hero, just like I planned to, don't care. He stands for all the things that matter to me, most as a hero, don't care. He is the best of the best, don't care. He does what he thinks is right, whether or not it aligns with the law. Yeah, maybe. He was the very first recipient of the prestigious Heroes blah 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 grant, no. Option number 4, for sure. And that's exactly how you want to operate, doing what I think is right, whether or not it lines up with the law. I'm a true vigilante. Now, if our guest might take a seat, we can begin, Rebellion says as he stands at the head of the table, the impatience in his voice unhidden. You force your legs to move and you sit in the nearest empty seat, which you hope doesn't belong to someone more important. As you settle in, you try to will your heart to stop pounding in your chest because this is absolutely unreal. Last month, you didn't even have your hero license, and today you're sitting at Mission Control debrief with the Millennial freaking Group, led by Rebellion. It's certainly enough to make your head spin. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, so you had better not screw it up. 20 minutes later. Black Magic has given the rundown on your telelock findings and your encounter with the pool killers. You thought... That story didn't take 20 minutes. It didn't even take me 20 minutes to read that story. Black Magic, you ramble. You thought you might be asked to speak, but aside from a brief acknowledgement of your telelock tip, everyone ignored your presence entirely. Rebellion's plan formed quickly. Black magic is to report to the hospital floor for immediate recharging. They can do that there? Once restored, he will discern the location of Static's evidence stockpile from the telelock. If the evidence is successfully secured by the MCPD, the Millennial Group will then take action against the Splice Circle, whose current whereabouts are to be researched remotely by Processor. You hoped you might get a chance to introduce yourself to Rebellion, but he was out of the door before you could even stand up, followed by Officer Spillane, who sent you another dirty look on her way out. You've dreamed of meeting Rebellion for years, rehearsed speeches and introductions, but this all turned out to be rather anticlimactic. Now, as the other group members begin to stir, you have no idea what you're supposed to do. Luckily, Black Magic approaches you on his way out. "Stick around," he says, placing a hand on your hip. Ooh, it's a weird place to put your hand. "Things are about to heat up. Everything has happened so fast, you've barely had time to think about what you really want, what I really want, with Black Magic. But now, with him standing right in front of you, you know you want... let's go with something serious. That's how I'm feeling in this heat-addled state my brain currently is. Black Magic seems perfect in just about every way, and you can't stop thinking about him. You feel there's something potentially deep between the two of you. Hopefully, you'll have the opportunity to find out. What should I do while you're gone, you ask? The other group members will probably just hang around until our next order, Black Magic says, leaning in to whisper in your ear. Go talk to them. Consider it part of your minterview, as they call it. What? Before you can respond, Black Magic winks at you and strides toward the door. You didn't think I brought you here just for giggles, did you? Play nice now. Why would they be recruiting me? I don't... With that, Black Magic leaves you with the rest of the group. So you aren't just here to help. You're here to audition for the Millennial Group? That's insane! Why on earth would they want a rookie like you on the team, especially one with your brief but miserable track record? Exactly! You know without a doubt that you want to be part of a community of heroes as prestigious as the Millennial Group, but you've certainly learned that it's useless to obtain opportunities that you're not ready to handle. Good point. Knowing this, who do you think you should talk to? The diva, whose mega-sonic voice makes her one of the most powerful women on the planet. Now in her early 60s, the diva has been in the Millennial Group for nearly 20 years, after her first profession as a cardiac surgeon was taken over by advanced robotics. She has since risen to one of the group's most respected and feared members. Monk, a former spiritualist turned playboy hero, whose raunchy transformation has been splayed across the hero tabloids for years. The gender-neutral Zahir still adheres to her vow of silence, mostly focusing her vast telekinetic powers requires her full concentration. Fistful, who is torn straight from that old Jersey Shore stereotype. He is one of the most controversial group members, especially since many people think he uses illegal-powered steroids to amp up his already considerable strength. Let's go with Monk. Gender theory has evolved quite a bit in the last century, as the concept of a binary gender gave way to a more sliding scale assessment between male and female. As a result, a third gender category arose, a curious combination of male and female anatomy that scientists eventually named Zahir. You've met a few Zahirs before. This is weird because I have a friend whose dog is named Zahir. And they're an unusually attractive bunch, possessing the best of androgynous... The best? Oh! We're rating body parts now. Oh, I see. I'm glad I don't have any of those bad man bits, and only the good man bits. Possessing the bunch of androgynous androgynous male and female beauty. So you're definitely not going to pass up the chance to meet one as impressive as Monk. You walk toward Monk, seeing that Ze wears her standard ivory-robed costume and is drinking a large mug of tea that you can rather unpleasantly smell from here. You're about to introduce yourself when Monk suddenly vanishes from sight. You weren't aware Ze possessed teleportation powers. So much for that plan. Not wanting to miss out your opportunity, you decide to pick another Millennial Group member to talk to. Let's go with Diva. You approach the diva with caution. You remember your mother telling you the worst stories about her. Also, I have to point out, I don't think her teleported. I think Monk was using astral projection. That's my theory. You approach the diva with caution. You remember your mother telling you the worst stories about her. Since they both had vocally based powers, the Sound and the Diva ended up bitter rivals. As a matter of fact, your mother always thought that the Diva was the reason she and your father were never invited to a part of the group. Diva, you say, trying to keep your voice steady. Do you think I could... Walk with me, the diva says before sauntering out of the door. You hurry along to catch up, studying her as she goes. The diva's long black hair cascades across her flawless caramel skin. She has chosen to wear her House of McQueen costume today. Every major fashion house has taken a stab at her iconic costume during the past 2 decades. The diva's closet houses a collection of some of the finest couture ever created. While the styling of the costume vacillates wildly, they're always in her signature colors, white and gold, with a bold splash of pink. The diva's current costume is a skin-tight white bodysuit, hand-sewn with silver seams. The bodysuit serves as a clean template to feature a structural, dark pink collar that jets into the air in a sharp, asymmetrical tower. I was with you until asymmetry. Ooh, it's annoying. The collar's lapels then curve down into a point at the waist, creating a striking shape. Taking the costume in, you decide to speak up. Let's kiss ass. Diva, I love your costume today. The diva takes a moment to glance back at you, then continues walking without a word. You follow her for what seems like a long time. I guess the choice didn't matter. Through corridors, upstairs, downstairs, all without a word uttered in your direction. You finally arrive at the diva's residential floor, and she walks inside with a wave of her meat-chip, not bothering to hold the door for you. You slip inside and find that the space is decorated impeccably, the perfect mix between a Park Avenue apartment and a Hamptons beach house, or at least what they look like in the Hula movies. There's a lot of white paneling, traditional furniture, French doors, and hydrangeas. Do take your shoes off, darling, the diva says. Glad you could keep up. I hate those wretched elevator traps. You pull off your costume's boots as quickly as you can manage and trail after the diva, noting that she hasn't removed her own stilettos. She finally stops in a palatial bathroom suite, which appears more like a fully functioning spa, considering there's a staff gathered to attend to the diva. Come sit, darling, the diva says to you, perching herself in a luxury recliner. Hair, makeup, and massages are always necessary before public missions. Now remind me, who are you again? Let's go first one. I am Taserface, I say, forcing a smile. The diva doesn't respond, evidently expecting you to go on. I'm here to help with the static case because, yes, I'm sure that's a fascinating tale, the diva interrupts, closing her eyes as a mascara brush descends upon her face. But why are you really here? I don't think I understand. I am always rather charmed by slowness. A stretch of silence ensures that is only broken. A stretch of silence ensues that is only broken by the sound of a curling iron hissing against the diva's hair. All group members have the privilege of bringing in new recruits, but the poor dear doesn't seem to have rather interesting tastes, Diva says with a sigh. I never expected him to bring anything quite so stray. Is the diva talking about you and black magic? You'd always heard that black magic was a bit wild, but you never gave much credit to that rumor mill. Apparently, you should have. If what the diva says is true, it sounds like black magic isn't gay all the way. But you're not about to let Diva walk all over you. Still, you're a team player, and you want things to go well with your mint review, so your decision is as good as made already. Boom! Play the Diva's game! Doesn't matter if I like her, just important that she likes me. Why isn't this an option? Not that I would have chosen it. Well, I'd certainly argue that there's more than enough black magic to go around, you start, but I'm happy to concede him to the world's most enrapturing heroine, if that is your wish. Hey, if the diva needs to mark your territory, you're happy to let her spray wherever she may, but you don't necessarily have to go back off black magic, especially since the diva won't ever know what happens behind closed doors. How now, kitty's got claws, the diva says, her thick lips stretching into an actual smile. I do think we're going to get on famously. When it comes to black magic, there's a certain history that bears repeating. We understand each other perfectly, you say, smiling back at the diva as widely as you can manage. You know, darling, you do look remarkably familiar, the diva says. You remind me of someone I can't quite place. You immediately think of your mother. It looks like you're going to be able to get some additional revenge for the Foehamner name. But before you can respond, Processor's voice comes over the intercom. All group members, kindly reconvene in mission control. It appears we'll have to finish our chat some other time, the diva says, waving away her style minions. I'll be sure to put in a word so that may happen. Yes, you say, I'd like that very much. 5 minutes later. As you re-enter mission control, you will find that the rest of the group has already gathered. You take your seat next to Black Magic, who looks recharged and good as new. So how'd that go? He whispers to you. You know that your interactions just now probably sealed your fate with the Millennial Group, but Rebellion's voice booms from the head of the room before you can answer. Officer Spillane will handle your debrief, he says. In the meantime, I'm going to have a word with Taserface outside. He is Slugger. Standing in the room with Rebellion, your pulse begins to race. Now is your chance to say something to him, but you scream yourself in your head to speak. Rebellion, can I just say that this is an absolute honor to... I'll keep this brief. Rebellion cuts you off. Firstly, I want to thank you for helping us with the telelock. Because of your tip, Black Magic was able to locate Static's stockpile of evidence. Madame Vice hasn't got to it yet, and the MCPD has already procured enough to take down the entire Splash Circle. You pause, trying to absorb this information. I am angry that the case was stolen right out from under me. But you don't dare interrupt Rebellion as he continues. Smart. The Millennial Group has been tasked with bringing in the remaining Splash Generals, which is exactly what we're about to do. But there's something else. Our PR department has decided that adding an aspiring rookie to our ranks will help boost our image and help us gain a younger following. It's all nonsense to me, but I'm not opposed to bringing in our promising amateur to mentor. We've been auditioning many young heroes, and as thanks for your assistance, I was thinking of including you in the mission. Holy slugger, you think? Rebellion is thinking of asking you to fight alongside him? To maybe even mentor you? This is too much to even process. As you really seem like a team player, Rebellion says, so you can join us on this Splash Circle mission. Oh, the mission's not over yet. Then I am less mad. You can hardly believe your ears. Oh, I see. It was stolen from under me, but I'm joining them, so it's not. Got it. You can hardly believe your ears. Did your idol just tell you that you'll be fighting alongside him with the MC's greatest powered team? And that, if all goes well, it could lead to an actual group membership? Looks like sucking up to the diva really paid off. When did you have a chance to pass along my suck? I'd be honored to join, you say. I absolutely won't let you down. We'll certainly find out, Rebellion says. We happen to be auditioning another potential new member today. Here he is now, actually. You turn around and your stomach drops, because you see... What's his name? That jerk guy. Jury, that's his name. Jerkery. Straight down the hall. No, you think. Anyone but him. As Jury stops next to Rebellion, the sight is enough to make your blood boil. What was his voice again? Was he just a Jury? Well, look who it is, Jury says, as smugly as he can manage. Good to see you again, cutie. Yeah, I forgot his voice completely. I'm sorry. We've got to get going, Rebellion says, turning to re-enter mission control. May the best hero win. As Jury follows Rebellion inside, he winks at you and mouths, You're going down. Oh yeah? Game on. No one is taking this opportunity away from you, especially not a Victon. Next chapter, Splash Girls!